drive and stuff, open gov and stuff.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Lonnie Groot, Special Magistrate for the City of Cocoa Beach, and this is September 13th, and we have a docket of hearings. Before we begin, we'll have city staff announce their presence.
Robin Rollins, City of Cocoa Beach Code Enforcement.
And we have Kelly Handwork, who's training our new clerk, Danielle Crawford, and welcome. And so before we begin, let me just go through some introductory remarks here. Who has been at a hearing before? Okay, well, you have not, sir.
Me, I'm just...
Oh, you're just observing?
Just observing.
Okay, that's very good. Well, real quickly then, as special magistrate, I hear cases that are brought by the city relating to alleged code enforcement violations, and we have what's known as quasi-judicial hearings, where the city presents evidence, and after the city presents evidence, the respondent, the alleged violator, presents evidence, and at the end of that proceeding, I make a decision. All testimony is going to be sworn, so anybody who's going to be testifying today, I'll be administering an oath in just a second. We're in Florida. We have government in the sunshine, so anybody who wants to watch these proceedings certainly may. I don't know why they would want to do that unless hadn't slept all last night and had a hard time sleeping. And, no, that's it. And you think I'm missing anything? At the end of the hearing, I'll issue an order. Later on, within a week or so, I'll work with city staff, the clerk, to enter a written order, which will be distributed to the respondent for each case. You won't get somebody else's order, you're going to get your own order. And that's the way matters proceed. And Mr. Robin, you have some cases today, I understand?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to announce the cases that are on the agenda that won't be heard?
Yes, it'll be the first three cases, case 23-389, 23-415, and 23-478 have been removed.
Okay. Now, who plans on testifying at today's hearing?
Mr. Scruggs.
You do, sir? Okay, and Mr. Reel? Yes, sir. Okay, let's do this first. Would you state your full name, please?
John Costello, building official, City of Cocoa Beach.
And sir, would you state your full name?
Margaret Patrick Scruggs.
Okay.
Robin Rollins, City of Cocoa Beach Code Enforcement.
Each of you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matters now hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you much. Okay, Mr. Reel, you may proceed.
All right, if you want, sir, we'll go ahead and go right to the old business and then come back to the mass hearing, if that's all right.
Perfectly fine with me.
All right, the old unfinished business is case number 23-396. The respondent is Roger Scruggs and James Scruggs. Address of property is 1391 South Orlando Avenue, and parcel ID and legal descriptions per the agenda. The code section violation is section 1022, enumerated conditions prohibited, sections 15-23(1), nuisance, designated personal property under certain conditions, section 611, property maintenance code adopted by the IPMC, chapter 6, section 611 IPMC, section 302, exterior property areas, and section 302.1 sanitation of the IPMC. As you can see, Mr. Scruggs is here today. My last correspondence was with him on September 12th, and we talked about him showing up for court. If I can, I'd like to go ahead and present evidence, and if found guilty, I'd like you to go ahead and put this on file. Sir.
Okay, thank you.
What you'll see is, when he asked for postponement, I came into my office. I wrote up an affidavit requesting him to go ahead and say that we talked, that he knew about the case and so forth. And if you look there, he realizes that he could possibly be fined if the violation wasn't corrected. The first page is the notice of violation. It shows the codes and the violations that he had to correct. Same had to be corrected. by May 25th. You'll go through the paperwork, you will see that a green card was also received by him. The special magistrate hearing was sent out June 18th of 2023. A posting was done at his location on June 20th. As you can see, he is in the courtroom. I have talked to him several times in person and and per email and texting. If you go to the last pages, you'll start seeing the pictures. The pictures show that the trash and debris up around the front door even has a mousetrap right by the entrance of the front door. Keep going through the pictures. First picture will designate his carport. This carport you can't walk through to go to the door that I'm assuming leads into the kitchen. The second page that was taken on June 20th would be the front yard. I will let you go through each page. It's just more and more trash and debris throughout the property. I went back several times. In fact, me and my assistant went back on Monday of this week. The grass was cut. Some of the trash and debris was picked up, but it's a shame to say it, not to the degree that he would be in compliance. The last page would show you the property from property appraiser and being the owner. And Mr. Scruggs visited in court today, talking with my assistant on Monday when we went out there. And I say this with no disrespect to you, Mr. Scruggs, or anything like that, but I think even when you came in here today, you made a comment that your neighbor gave you a couple of wheel wells. I think what we have here is a possible hoarder. An hoarder is an illness. No disrespect to you, sir, and argue the point if I'm wrong, please. But I've had a couple in the area, and what we had to end up doing was abating the property, and what that does is we have to go and pick up all the property and throw it away for you. Knocking on your front door on Monday, all the windows in the front of your house, you couldn't see through because they were all piled up with boxes and whatever else you had in there. We're here to help you, not to hurt you, sir. If you'd like to come up and talk to the magistrate and...
Mr. Scruggs, your turn. Do you have anything further, sir?
No, sir, that's it.
Your turn to take the podium and say what you'd like to say.
I'd like to answer your questions first. Have any questions that,
If you would, identify yourself.
oh, I'm sorry.
Address.
Roger Scruggs, resident, owner of 1391 South Orlando Avenue, the subject of this.
No, really, this is the time for you to address
I just
whether or
want to
not,
make sure you have any questions.
whether or not that you agree that the condition of the property is this way, and whether or not you agree that the violations have occurred.
Yeah, the violations have occurred, and that I have cleaned up quite a bit since the pictures were taken. The front yard, I think, is the doorways cleaned up, and I made a little bit of progress on the garage, but my main concern was the right now is the side yard and the backyard and fence repair, because that's the neighbors. They see that fence, and I want to redo that fence on the east side.
How much time do you think it will take you to do that?
Well, I thought I'd have it all done by now, but it's like every day there's a new thing. This week it was the found out the shed was leaking, and I got something there. It gets wet, it's ruined. So I've been working on that. So before that, it was the I got clients that I just can't say no to. I got, for instance, last time it was like in this meeting, it was we've got $22,000 worth of scholarships we're giving away. We need that photograph. So stuff like that I just can't walk away from. I'll lose my clients if I'll lose them permanently if I don't attend to their needs. But I have been working every single day on that place, whether it's 4 hours or 12 hours. I have three motivations. Number one, the city. Number two, hurricane season. Number three, I got to get that place rented because I can't afford not to have it rented. So I'm I'm not going to take a day off and clean the place up. I wasn't sure the priorities of the carport versus the backyard. My priorities were the backyard because of the hurricane season, but now I'll spend more time on the carport.
Well, here's well, I appreciate that. Here's what I've heard Mr. Reeland say, though, is that the city's obviously brought the case here as a code enforcement matter, but he also used the word abatement. So and I haven't studied Cocoa Beach's code precisely, but typically what that means is that the government, the city, goes to your house because there's a nuisance on the site and cleans up the nuisance on its own, and then assesses the charge against the property owner for the work of the city. Is that the process in Cocoa Beach also?
Yes, sir. Right now, we're just starting off, but it's a notice of violation, and the process, the next step would be I'd have to write up a new case for an abatement notice, and that would be the process. The city would walk in, take care of it, and then we charge him for whatever the cost was.
And that would be an order that would be a lien on your property if you didn't pay it too.
Correct.
Just like these orders. The orders that derive from these proceedings, they can also be a lien on your property. My guess is too, you mentioned it, hurricane season, is that the city's probably very much interested in cleaning this up before it becomes not just debris on your property, but debris flying through the neighborhood. So what's the city's position about the amount of time that should be given to clean this up?
It's a shame to say this, but this has been going on for quite a while. Enough is enough because the next door neighbor is one that actually made the complaint. I would give him another 30 days, and if it doesn't, then we'll take the process to go ahead and start going as an abatement type of case. All right, Mr. Scruggs?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm sure I
Think you can get that work done in 30 days?
I'm confident I can, but I thought I'd have it done by now, and the other jobs kept popping up, and like, every single day, it's like, I just can't keep ahead of the work and the breakdown.
I got you. It's one of those situations, like my wife always tells me, is worse. It looks worse than it is. You just got to start doing it. You start cleaning it up. So, what would be the city's recommended fine if there was non-compliance?
In consideration of the whole issue, I would say it's a $25 a day fine, because what would happen after probably 30 days, if no action is actually taken after that time period and the fine has been going on for 30 days, I'll probably go in with an abatement, sir.
If there is a hearing in October, it'd be the 11th.
Yes, sir. So we can give them until the
10th?
the 10th, yes, sir.
Mr. Scruggs,
Yes, sir.
the city and I were thinking the same thing, and let's see how you react to this. If I was to issue the order right now based upon what was just discussed, I would issue an order saying clean up the property, remove all the code violations by October 10th. And if you don't do it by that date, a fine of $25 a day would kick in.
That's sounds a good way to do it to me.
Okay. And just so you know, I've experienced this I'm an old guy, and I've experienced code enforcement since 1985, okay? So these $25 a day sounds like, oh, maybe that's the cost of just doing business. It adds up, okay? $25 a day very quickly becomes thousands of dollars, so
I can afford $20 a day, yeah.
I don't know how much the abatement would cost, but it's probably not insignificant based upon the amount of stuff that's on the property. So that could be another potential cost to you that you should try to avoid. So, Mr. Scruggs, do you have anything further you'd like me to hear?
Yes, sir. I think I understand the situation well, and I appreciate your Turner, appreciate his extra patience with the extended time. And I regret that Doug haven't been able to, or have so many conflicts have come up recently to delay what I thought would be done by now.
No, I got you, I understand, but the city seems to have lost some patience and needs to get this resolved, and, okay, and you understand that.
And what I didn't understand, what I didn't care was the priorities of the carport versus the backyard, and because the carport's been that way for a long, long time, long before the neighbors complained, and so that's why I was misguided in my direction of cleanup.
If I can assist him real quick, the idea isn't what the location is if something was to happen to somebody inside that building, somebody would have to go in.
Right.
The fire department, the police, or whatever, and there's no safe route for them to go. The door's blocked, your carport door into the house is blocked and so forth, and that's what the issues are.
Not just the,
One of the,
it's everybody's safety, those who are in the structure and those who have to go in the structure, because to some extent, the stuff that's stacked up is fuel. It's not just garbage, it's fuel if there was a conflagration of some kind.
just to make me feel better, is the mousetraps in the front door is to, I want to move them to a better place because they haven't, but I just been, two things. One is I bought peanuts to feed to the squirrels, and they were peanuts were in the car. The rats got in the car, chewed up my interior. So I'm putting rats everywhere because I can't afford my car being damaged anymore. Number two is I have the rat problem, not because of my place. There's a tree line on the east side of my place. The vegetation under those palm trees is that high. And you can watch the rats run across that fence line there. That is a rat motel or breeding ground in that thick vegetation over there. And I can't, I know I can catch rats over there because they were there all the time, but that is the rat traps in front of the door, and they're not coming out of my place, they're coming from the tree line. I'm fighting them as much as I possibly can. I will move the rat traps away from the door. And I got the front door and the front yard a little bit under control. And as soon as I get home from my other meeting at the Veterans Museum, I'll be back there all afternoon working in the yard and evening.
Just give me a call.
Well, I know the city wants to work with you, so unless you have additional statements, I'm ready to enter an order.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry to take it.
No, you can take your, if you want anything. Did you have any questions of Mr. Scruggs?
No, I don't.
Okay. You have anything further?
No, sorry.
City?
Except if he wants to appeal it, he can appeal it after the 30 days. Okay.
Well, and the order will yes.
Fuck that.
If when an order's entered, you have 30 days to appeal it to the circuit court.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
But, well, Mr. Scruggs, you want to hear the order before you leave, or you trust me to say what I do it? No, I just, okay. All right. In case number CBPD 23-396, the respondent is Roger Scruggs, James M. Scruggs, relating to the property addressed as 1391 Orlando Avenue South, Cocoa Beach, Florida. I find that the code violations alleged have been found to exist, and I find that the property owner and the property is in violation of the code cited in the notice of violation. And I won't enumerate those, but all the codes that were cited in the notice of violation, I find that they were violated, and that the respondent shall have until October 10th to remedy each and every violation. And if one violation exists, then the fine will kick in, okay? And if the violations are not remedied by October 10th, then a fine of $25 per day will be imposed upon the property for each and every day of the violation. That'll be the order. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Sure.
The James and Scruggs on that thing is my deceased father, and he was alive. That would never happen. He
Okay.
was military, and he would be furious. He'd be more furious. I'd be more scared of him.
Okay,
It would have to do with the line.
all right, well, God bless him.
Take care, sir. Thank you.
All right, Cindy, what's the next case you'd like to bring forward?
All right, next would be the compliance for the Massey hearings. Case number 23-338, respondent is Kathy and Emerald Eberhardt. Address of property was 225 Minute Man Causeway. Parcel ID and legal descriptions per the agenda. The case was heard. They were supposed to come into compliance. They failed to come into compliance. No permits were pulled. A lien will be placed on their property with your agreement.
Okay, is Kathy or Emerald Eberhardt here? Kathy or Emerald Eberhardt? Third time, Kathy or Emerald Eberhardt? No respondent is present. The allegation was that the property was not in compliance by the date set forth in the order, which was what date? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Do you have that in front of you, John? Should be in the
July
minutes.
13th.
And it's your testimony that on July 13th, the property had not been brought into compliance,
That's correct.
and it's still not in compliance.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, I will enter an order affirming that assertion by the city that the property was non-compliant as of the date of the required to be in compliance by the order issued. And the property owner has had their due process rights under the Massey case, but they apparently didn't want to exercise them. So that order will be entered.
Thank you, sir. The next case would be case number 23-397. The respondent is KLT East Coast LLC. Address of property is 637 South Orlando Avenue. Parcel ID and legal descriptions per the agenda. Here again, I've talked to the individual. I even went out to the site with him as early as, I'm going to say it was Monday. We discussed it. The only thing they did pull was a electrical permit, which was still open as I know of it as of today. Nothing else has really been corrected. Long talk with him. Issues have been made about moving people out. I don't want to go there because unless they have a speaker, are you for them, sir? Okay. Somebody called me as early as yesterday and said that they were being evicted because the city made a comment that it was a safety order and we were condemning the property. I have the building official here today. As far as I know, he never made that comment. He never said we were condemning the building.
Yeah, this is the case I heard a couple of months ago.
Right.
The apartments, and it was the first building that was
The back building. The
Back
two-story
building.
back building, right. The fire marshal declared it as a safety issue in writing and so forth. The building official said it, but it was never posted as a safety issue. Like I said, and nobody ever said that it was condemned. And that was the latest word from somebody that lived there. Like it says, the owner of the property I talked to, he is trying to take care of it right away. He found a couple of vacant apartments to put a couple of the people in, and that's where it stands at this time.
So the
they're
date
still
of
in
compliance was to be what? What was? I made it pretty quick, as I recall.
Yes, sir. And the fine was for $250 a day.
Starting July 13th.
So is it July 13th again?
Yeah.
And on July 13th, the property was still in
All
violation?
permits.
Was that the day that he wrote the order or the day that he had to come in compliance?
He had to get permits.
By that
The
date?
order stated.
Okay.
Had to apply for any and all permits to start work by July 13th.
And that had not been done?
He only obtained one permit, and that was for electric.
And the property's still in non-compliance?
Right, that's correct, sir.
And sir, do you represent KLT East LLC? Okay, you weren't, you want to testify? And just- Well, hang on.
Sir. Yeah.
If you're going to say anything, then we need to swear you in and you can,
If you would give your name and your address.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
please just state your full name.
It's Carlos Flores.
Sir, do you solemnly swear that the testimony about to give in the matter down here and be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. And you don't dispute, well, I understand that the property was in non-compliance on July 13th?
Yeah, as he was saying, we notified the tenants from the 3 units in the back building that they needed to vacate in 7 days because of safety issues. And we are relocating 2 of those tenants to 2 empty units, and the other tenant is vacating at the end of this week. So they are working on it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do agree that you were not in compliance your company was not in compliance on July 13th?
Yeah, we have been working on that. I was reading the notice, and we have done some things. For example, it says cut the grass. We have set up a vendor to come after the waste management company comes to pick up the trash, and they can clean out the rest of the property. That's on a weekly basis.
And what's your relationship to KLT East Coast?
Yeah, I'm the property manager.
The property manager? You're not a corporate, you're not a member or manager or whatever of the LLC then?
I'm just a property manager.
And you have authority to speak for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to the other property manager? Do you have her name on record?
Camille?
Yeah, Carmel?
Yeah, she's out for sick.
Oh, she's still with your company?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to.
She just had an emergency, medical emergency, so
All
she's
right.
out. Yeah.
Can you spell your name for the record and give us a phone number so we can use it
Yeah,
as contact?
it's Carlos, last name Flores, and my phone number is 321-549-0284.
Thank you, sir.
Well, does the city have anything further? It sounds like we're all understanding that the property was in violation on July 13th.
Correct. I just wanted to so note that he said he found 2 of the residents places to live. The third one, again, I just want to go ahead and put it on record, the city did not condemn this building. So if that's the reason that they're evicting them as a condemned building, it's false.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, sir.
That's exactly right. As I recall, the order specifically found that there was a lot of problems with that
Oh,
building.
yes, sir,
But the city
city
did
did
not
not condemn
condemn it. Although it has the jurisdiction and right to do so, it
Yes.
has not done so. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further from the city?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so in case number PD 23-397, having held this Massey hearing to determine if the property was in compliance on July 13th of 2023, it's my finding that the property was not in compliance, and the fine will continue to run, and I'll enter an order to that effect.
Thank you, sir.
Now, before I forget and ask you if there's anything else you'd like to bring forward, one thing I skipped over was the approval of the July 12th, 2023
That's what I was gonna
minutes.
bring up, yes, sir.
I recognize I skipped that. I have reviewed the minutes and I have approved them. I will approve them. I will sign them. Now, does the city have anything further to bring forward?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right. There being nothing else for the good of the order, these hearings are adjourned.